Are you sure that salt is just the enemy? Many of us, after the age of 50, start avoiding salt as if it were a danger. We're told, less salt means a healthier heart. But what if I told you that at a certain age, salt can actually become medicine, if you know how and when to use it? Yes, too much salt is harmful, but too little can be just as dangerous. It can disrupt muscle function, lower your blood pressure to the point of dizziness, cause cramps, fatigue, dehydration, and even affect your mental clarity. Especially after 50, when our bodies no longer compensate for deficiencies the way they did in our youth. This video isn't about restrictions. It's about balance, about wisdom, about the miraculous properties of salt, some of which you may have never heard of. We'll talk about why salt can help relieve insomnia and headaches, how to choose the right kind of living salt that truly heals, and which type of salt you must include in your diet after 50 and why. Stay with me until the very end, because I'll share an old remedy using salt that restores energy and normalizes blood pressure in just a few days. A recipe passed down from grandmother to grandmother and now nearly forgotten. And don't forget to click subscribe and the bell icon, because on this channel, it's not just facts. It's wisdom for life, care, and the path to longevity. So get comfortable and listen carefully, because what has been dismissed for years might just be the very thing you've been missing. Let's find out. Why can salt help with insomnia and headaches? Have you ever woken up in the middle of the night for no reason, as if something pushed you from within, or gone to bed, only to find yourself unable to fall asleep? Your body tense, your thoughts racing, and your heart pounding in your temples like a door that won't shut? It's not always just stress. Often it's a quiet, invisible sodium deficiency, the very mineral we know by the simple name salt. After the age of 50, the body changes its rules. Metabolism slows down. Hormonal shifts affect the heart, kidneys, and blood vessels. We drink more water, try to detox, eat less salty food, and it all seems right, but we sometimes forget that water without salt is just a solvent. It washes away what little strength we have left. Sodium plays a vital role in nerve signal transmission. Without it, the brain becomes like a radio without signal, noisy, anxious, unable to calm down. That's why, when sodium is low, the brain wakes up in the night. It lacks stability, both electrical and chemical. Salt regulates the production of cortisol, the stress hormone. If you consume too little sodium, your body perceives it as a threat. It starts producing more cortisol, and you simply can't relax. Anxiety levels rise, muscles tighten, pressure in the head increases, leading to headaches, nighttime awakenings, and that strange fatigue that doesn't go away, even after long sleep. A lack of salt can lead to low blood pressure and blood vessel spasms. And that's a straight path to chronic headaches, dizziness, and instability while walking. A person loses not just physical balance, but also inner confidence. The fear of falling appears. The fear of sudden episodes. And yet, sometimes all it takes is to return a bit of quality salt to your diet. One simple remedy passed down from our grandmothers. Before bed, a pinch of salt under the tongue, followed by a few sips of water. Nothing more. And often, within 2 to 3 days, sleep normalizes. Because finally, the body receives signals of peace, not panic. For people over 50, salt is not something to be ignored. It's not just seasoning. It is an element of inner stillness. Without it, everything buzzes, rattles, falls apart. With it comes balance, the very thing that's often missing at this age. But here's what's important. Not all salt heals. Not all salt provides the minerals we truly need. Because salt is like people. Some only seem helpful, and others genuinely support you from within. That's why, in the next section, we'll talk about living salt, unrefined, rich in natural trace elements. The kind that truly helps your body recover without harming it. I'll show you what kind of salt to choose, how to tell it apart from dead, white salt, and why. After 50, it should appear in your diet every single day, even in the morning on an empty stomach. So don't go anywhere. The most important part is still ahead. And to make sure you never miss a video like this, hit that subscribe button right now. This channel isn't about trends or ads. It's about what truly works, what has been lived, what has meaning. Because real self-care doesn't start with pills. It starts with what's already sitting in your kitchen cupboard. Next, I'll tell you how to choose living salt that truly heals. Salt is not just a white powder on a store shelf. It is the memory of the earth. It is the dried-up sea, frozen in crystal. It is the trace of the ancient sun, something we place on our tongue each day, often without a second thought. But between living salt and dead salt lies a great divide. And especially after 50, we no longer need to just season food. We need to nourish the body with real minerals that it loses with age. So how can you tell living salt from salt that only pretends to be food? 1. Color. Living salt is rarely snow white. Its color always carries a hue of life. Pale gray, pink, pearly, amber. That's because it hasn't been polished to a shine like refined industrial salt. It still contains natural traces: magnesium, potassium, calcium, iron, iodine in its organic form. White salt, on the other hand, is the result of deep processing. It shines because nothing remains inside it. 2. Texture. Living salt is coarse, brittle, like fragments of an ancient crystal. It crunches between your fingers and is not always uniform. In a jar or pouch, you'll find different sizes of grains, some larger, some smaller, with natural moisture. Dead salt looks like soldiers in a row, identical granules that dissolve quickly but give you nothing in return. 3. Origin. Look for salt sourced naturally. Sea salt dried under the sun. Himalayan salt extracted from ancient rock. Carpathian salt that carries the memory of mountain waters. These types of salt don't undergo chemical treatment. They aren't stripped down to emptiness. They are alive, and that means they have power. 4. Taste. Place a pinch on the tip of your tongue. Living salt has a complex, deep flavor, not just salty. It has a slight bitterness, a mineral trail, something that lingers on the palate. That's a sign it contains real trace elements. Dead salt tastes flat, harsh, disappears quickly, and leaves behind nothing. 5. Ingredients on the label. This matters. Avoid phrases like anti-caking agent, E536, E535, iodized salt with stabilizers. All of these are chemicals that help a product sit on a shelf for years, but do not help your body. Living salt doesn't need artificial additives. Its richness is in nature itself. But the most important thing is not just what salt you choose, but how you use it. Because living salt isn't about quantity, it's about the quality of connection. When you add it to food, do it mindfully. Don't sprinkle it automatically. Taste it. Remember, these are minerals that nourish your heart, your brain, your muscles. After 50, the body begins to give up ground. Not because aging is inevitable, but because the microelements that kept inner balance begin to run out. We lose magnesium, and the heart stumbles. We lose potassium, and the muscles weaken. Iodine, and the mind slows down. Zinc, and the immune system fades like a shadow. But living salt is a source of many of these. Natural, gentle, not synthetic. It doesn't cure like a pill. It supports like the earth beneath your feet. It is your anchor. Imagine salt not as a seasoning, but as a ritual of returning to yourself. In the morning, a pinch in warm water on an empty stomach. In the evening, a little in a meal cooked with love. And the body, tired from years and noise, will begin to remember what peace feels like, what strength is, what the deep, true taste of life can be. Next, we'll talk about the type of salt you must consume after 50, regardless of diet, season, or gender. Because this salt isn't just support, it's a key to longevity. I'll tell you, which form of salt is best absorbed in mature age, which salt supports hormonal balance, and why it can even protect you from osteoporosis and blood pressure issues. So stay tuned. Real salt isn't just on the tip of your tongue. It lies in the depths of your decisions. And to make sure you don't miss what matters most, click subscribe. This channel is for those who want to live wisely and who choose not what's fast, but what's real. Which salt should you definitely eat after 50 and why? There comes an age when the body no longer forgives randomness. At 20, we could drink sugary soda and wake up smiling. At 30, eat fast food for dinner and show up to work the next morning without a headache. But after 50, every day becomes a mirror, reflecting what we gave our body the day before. And it's at this stage that salt stops being just a flavoring habit. It becomes a matter of survival. But not just any salt, the kind your body truly needs. After the age of 50, several key changes occur in the body. Bone density decreases, especially in women, due to a drop in estrogen. In men, due to declining testosterone levels. This increases the risk of osteoporosis, spinal fragility, and joint pain. Blood pressure regulation becomes less stable. The body becomes more sensitive to dehydration and both excessive or insufficient sodium intake. Blood pressure can fluctuate, even if your diet hasn't changed. Stomach acid secretion decreases. This worsens the absorption of vitamins and minerals. Here, salt plays a key role. It stimulates digestion, supports the production of stomach acid, and improves appetite. So what salt is needed after 50? 1. Himalayan pink salt. This isn't just a trendy product. It really contains over 80 natural trace elements in micro amounts, but in a form the body can absorb. It has a gentle taste, doesn't cause sharp spikes in blood pressure, supports bone tissue with calcium and magnesium, helps maintain electrolyte balance, which is vital for the heart and muscles. You can consume Himalayan salt daily, in small amounts, by adding it to meals or dissolving in water. 2. Carpathian rock salt, unrefined. This is salt from mountain layers, hand-harvested. It's dense, coarse, with a natural gray or yellowish tint. Supports thyroid function, especially if it contains natural iodine. Has a strong antiseptic effect, excellent for oral health and gums, even if you simply let a crystal dissolve in your mouth at night. In folk medicine, it's used in compresses for back and joint pain because it draws out stagnation, inflammation, and cold. Carpathian salt can be used not only in food, but also in foot soaks, mouth rinses, and as compresses, especially for those who often feel cold, have poor circulation, or suffer from arthritis. 3. Sun-dried sea salt, additive-free. This is a source of natural magnesium, one of the most essential elements for the mature nervous system. Reduces irritability, improves sleep, strengthens heart rhythm, helps relieve muscle cramps, especially those that strike at night. Most importantly, real sea salt is natural. No enchicaquem agentes, no flavoring, no sintetique. How much salt should you consume? After age 50, the recommended amount is 2 to 5 grams per day, about 1 flat teaspoon. But remember, salt is already present in many ready-made foods, bread, cheese, sausages. So your main salt should be clear and controlled, the kind you choose yourself. It's better to slightly undersalt and rediscover the true flavor of food than to live daily in oversaturation. Today, we didn't just talk about salt. We talked about care, about mindfulness, about the little things that become the foundation of our health. Once youth no longer shields us from our habits. Because salt is not the enemy, as you may have been told. It is an ancient ally. You just need to recognize it. We've learned that. Salt can improve sleep and relieve headaches. Salt can support hormonal balance. Salt provides minerals our bodies lose over time. And that living salt exists, real, mineral-rich, deep, and healing, not harmful. We've also come to understand that after 50, every crystal on our plate matters. The body no longer has reserves like it once did. Instead of whatever, the time has come to live with intention. So before you go, pause for a moment. Take a look at your kitchen, at the salt you use every day, and ask yourself, am I really giving myself the best? Or am I just used to what I know? If not, change it. Not tomorrow, not next Monday, today, because your body is waiting, because your soul is asking, because you are worth it. And if this video was helpful for you, leave the words living salt in the comments. That way I'll know we're in this together, that this conversation wasn't just echoes in the void. And don't forget to subscribe if you want to keep talking about what truly matters. how to live longer, how to stay healthier, how to hear yourself, and care for yourself with respect. Thank you for being here. Take care of yourself. See you in the next video.